Hello friends, welcome to my channel. I am Poonam. With me today you are going to cover some important lines of very famous companion poetry written by John Milton. The poetries are L'Allegro and Pensoroso. Let us proceed to our video now. L'Allegro and Pensoroso, and these are the Italian names given to these poetries by John Milton. The title is Italian, as I just told, and the word L'Allegro means the cheerful man, the happy man, and these poetries were published in 1645. And in 1645, Milton published these in the collection poetry alongside the another poetry Pensoroso, which means the sad person. L'Allegro is a pastoral poetry जिसमें pastoral settings दिखाई गई है by John Milton in the 1645 poetry. And Pensoroso is showing the kind of city life basically where the man is not happy. The first poetry, L'Allegro, is set in the rural setting and Pensoroso in the urban setting. L'Allegro's speaker is very cool, very calm, and Pensaroso's speaker is restless. The poem is set in the speaker's mind as he anticipates the pleasures, the happiness that he will enjoy on an inviting spring day. And first it is in a countryside, in a rural place setting, and then in an urban setting. Pensaroso part is in an urban setting. Let us go through these lines. Melancholy is the very important keyword in this poetry to identify. Hence loaded melancholy of Cerberus and blackest midnight born in Stygian cave forlorn, mongst horrid shapes and shrieks and sights unholy, find out some uncouth cell, where brooding darkness spreads his jealous wings and the night raven sings. Throughout this whole poetry, the speaker continuously directs his words to various Greek gods in personification. He begins by invoking the deity of melancholy. Melancholy is dukh, udasi. So he begins by telling melancholy, leave me. आज के लिए उदासी मेरा पीछा छोड़ दे, and go bother the Sumerians or some other people who are already very happy. Sumerian are the people who are kind of nomads. So he says कि melancholy मुझे परेशान तो कर सकती है, लेकिन उन लोगों को कैसे परेशान करेगी जो कि बहुत रूरल एरियाज में अपनी लाइफ बहुत इजीली और बहुत सिंप्लिसिटी के साथ बिताते हैं. Okay, so Sumerians are the people basically जो कि डार्कनेस में भी ड्वेल कर लेते हैं और आराम से अपनी लाइफ को बिता देते हैं. बंजारे कहते हैं ना हम जिनको, वो किसी भी सर्कमस्टांसेस में हैप्पी रहते हैं. So he says कि go and bother the people who can live even happy even in darkness. So I am banishing melancholy from my life. As melancholy has got guts, melancholy should go and try to bother those people who can live happily under any circumstance. इसके बाद आप इस पोएट्री को आइडेंटिफाई कर सकते हैं यूफोरसाइन या mirth से. Happiness. Euphorosine is the deity of happiness and mirth is extreme happiness. But come, thou goddess fair and free, in heaven cleft Euphorosine, and by men heart-easing mirth, whom lovely Venus at birth with two sisters graces moved to ivy-crowned Bacchus bore, or whether the frolic wind that breathes the spring zephyr with Aurora playing as he met her once a May. हमारे नरेटर यहाँ पर सेलिब्रेट कर रहे हैं खुशियों की देवी को. Mirth as his chosen goddess throughout the poetry the writer is celebrating, and Euphorosine is considered to be the goddess of good cheer, joy, mirth, and is invoked by Milton in this poetry in the very beginning. And after this, narrator starts imagining how the goddess came onto this earth, and one myth also suggests that this goddess was conceived by Venus and Bacchus. That is why Venus and Bacchus are also mentioned here. Greek gods associated with love and fertility. Venus is considered to be the god of love and Bacchus the god of fertility. Another myth suggests that she was born maybe to Zephyr and Aurora. Zephyr and Aurora, once again the Greek gods representing the wind. Zephyr का mention तो Canterbury Tales में भी है, if you can remember and recall, and Aurora is dawn, early morning. So he is now invoking the deity of happiness and considering that deity of happiness may be the daughter of Venus and Bacchus or Zephyr and Aurora. Now he recalls ki how this goddess of happiness brings with it jest, youthful jollity, all the positive qualities such as jest, jollity, sport, laughter, liberty, and he imagines them to be a group of characters that join him in a festive kind of dance. So हमारे narrator imagine कर रहे हैं कि ये सारी qualities आएंगी when I will invoke the lady of happiness, the goddess of happiness, and I'll be dancing with them. The twin poetry of L'Allegro is called Penseroso. Penseroso is considered to be the companion poem to L'Allegro. This is a poem that looks at a life away from laughter, away from fun, and life of quiet contemplation. The narrator or speaker or the man in Penseroso scorns happiness, hates happiness, and cheers, calling it vain deluding joys. उनको लाइफ को और डेटी को जॉय कहने में भी एक परेशानी हो रही है. ही वॉन्ट्स टू जॉइन हैंड्स विथ मेलेनकली. यहाँ का जो स्पीकर है वो मेलेनकली के साथ जुड़ना चाहता है. दैट इज द रीजन he is not contemplating happiness, he is contemplating the serious issues, the serious parts of the life. Look at these lines. Hence, vain deluding joys, the brood of folly without father bread, how little you wasted, or fill the fixed mind with all your toys, dwell in some idle brain, and fancies formed with gaudy shapes, pauses, as thick and numberless. Speaker of Penseroso considers joy to be vain, to be fruitless, and he says that joy is the product of follies, mistakes, and he belittles joy in these initial lines of the Penseroso. The poet denounces deluding joys. Joys को तो denounce कर देते हैं completely and accuses them of making the brain idle. That if a person gets busy in enjoyment, now that will make the brain completely idle. And idle brains were the last thing that the poet like Milton would have used for. Instead, he depended on highly active mind for his craft, for his writings, and to achieve this state, he found the main subject of this poetry, Penseroso, to be quite melancholic. This pensive word can be a good keyword which means unhappy, sad, thoughtful. Come pensive, none devout and pure, sober, steadfast and demure. In lines में basically he is calling upon melancholy to come and meet him and describes melancholy as devout and pure, sober, steadfast and demure and dressed in dark clothes. उनको लगता है कि melancholy जब भी आएंगी तो dark clothes में ही आएंगी. He also requests that she brings with her some attendants who will be as useful as melancholy is. So melancholy along with it will bring calm, peace, quiet, these kind of qualities with it. And the man, the narrator, the speaker starts imagining all the dark, secluded places where he and his companions could meet and ponder or may think over the various mysteries that may be held by astrology, alchemy, and philosophy. And he thinks about all the serious kind of things that can be done with the help of melancholy. The speaker of Pensaroso is very happy with the idea of living in a secluded, serious kind of place like a hermitage in exchange for a life filled with deep and sincere kind of contemplation. And the poem ends with these lines. These pleasures melancholy give, and I with thee will choose to live. So the speaker of Pensaroso is choosing to live a serious life with melancholy. So this is the end of this poetry, and melancholy is a very good keyword here. Melancholy, pensive man, and all kinds of urban and rural setting that I told you during this video. Please do not do each and every line. अगर आप हर पोट्री की हर लाइन को कवर करना चाहेंगे तो बहुत कुछ भूल जाएंगे. Try to concentrate on the keywords of each and every line. Try to know the theme of each and every poetry, the real meaning of the basic story, the basic plot that is inherent in those poetries. That will help you a lot for identification. The link to connect to us for admission purpose has been given in description. You may join the classes to cover all the topics in detail. Thanks a lot for watching and best of luck for your exams.